Hey class, I'm Mr. Thornton. You've got 13 days until May and I'm going to help you succeed in your GCSE. This lesson, viewer suggested exam tips. Nikhil Shah suggested using checklists. At the start of the day, make a short list of the things which you need to get done that day, and then as you go through the day, tick them off. It can be surprisingly satisfying to tick things off knowing that you've done a good job. Used in conjunction with your revision timetable, this is a simple but excellent way to keep track of what you're doing. So thanks for that, Nikhil. Fortune B123 suggested an idea she says she heard of from Marty Lobdell, the idea of a study lamp. What you do is you have a lamp in the area where you study, like a desk lamp, and when you start to study you switch it on. When it's time for a break or when you finish studying, you switch it back off again. And over time, you start to subconsciously associate that lamp being on with the act of studying, and it helps to focus what you're doing. This can be a simple but useful addition to your revision environment, and I'm told it has been tested scientifically in the US on students and been shown to raise their grades, so it's worth a try. In previous years, I've recommended that my students wear watches in their exams so that they can keep an eye on the time and make sure that they're pacing themselves effectively. In recent years, however, some schools have started implementing watch bands. Now, I was well aware that smartwatches were completely out of the question, of course, because they could display all sorts of information on their screen. However, what I wasn't aware of until Void Banshee and TAR23 Gaming got in touch is that some schools have started banning all watches completely. The rationale behind this rule is that it's becoming increasingly difficult to tell whether or not a watch is a smartwatch. There are even watches out there on the market which are specifically marketed for cheating in exams. And so a lot of schools have just said, we can't be certain if we're looking at a watch whether or not it could be used, so we're just going to have to ban all watches. The implementation of these rules might vary a little bit from school to school, but if you plan on wearing a watch in your exams, you need to check carefully with your school in advance. Ask your teachers or ask your school's exams officer. Schools have to take these sorts of things incredibly seriously. They want to make sure that they don't need to disqualify anyone for possible cheating, and if they can't be sure, then they can't give people the benefit of the doubt. So make sure you know beforehand whether or not a watch is acceptable at your school and what type of watch might be acceptable, because it would be a shame if you were disqualified from that exam for not actually even trying to cheat and just happening to wear a clockwork wristwatch which wasn't even going to help you cheat. Check first and then you'll be properly informed and you'll know what's acceptable. Daniel Edwards and Sniper Elite 101 both got in touch to suggest a really neat little app for smartphones and tablets called Forest. It is apparently available on all major platforms, and what happens is as you start doing your revision, you click a little button on screen and a tree starts to grow. If, however, you can't resist the temptation to go have a look at Snapchat, then the tree will start to wither and eventually die. So if you're not doing the revision when you should be doing on your phone, you won't be able to keep that tree alive. Over time, you end up planting an entire forest of these trees, so you can see very quickly and easily whether or not you're making a decent effort with your revision. I think it's a really smart way to keep you from wasting time on your smartphone or tablet and allow you to use them as really useful revision aids instead of the distractions which they sometimes can be. Finally, Hachibi712, Cerebral Assassin, Zabazi, Janasan Sivalingam, Miss Hola and It's Annie all got in touch to suggest Quizlet. This is a flashcard app. It lets you set up flashcards on your phone or in your browser and works on all major platforms. What's also really neat about it is that you can use it in both the browser and the app and transfer your flashcards from one to the other. Another really neat feature is that you can also use other people's flashcards. Of course, there's a lot of other people revising, and so there are other sets of flashcards which have already been set up so you can get started really quickly. Big thanks to all of those commenters for those tips. It's great to see you all working together and helping each other like that. Did we miss your favourite tip though? If so, leave it in the comments below and I'll try to feature it in a future video. I hope that video really helped you. If it did, it really helps my channel when you like, subscribe and share these videos. Let people know I'm going to succeed in my GCSE. All the links and info for this video are in the description, and please let me know what you thought in the comments or on Twitter at Mr. Thornton UK, or use the hashtag #SucceedInMyGCSE. There are loads more GCSE science videos on my channel too. Here's another one which YouTube thinks you might find useful. You can click my picture just here to subscribe, click down there to check how well you understood with the Snap Quiz website and app, and you can click just here to get my revision guides. Good luck in your GCSEs everyone, and thanks very much for watching.